A quick summary of the human digestive system. Now, as we all know, the human digestive system begins with the mouth. Now, from the mouth, the system moves to pharynx. So, I start with the human mouth. The system moves to pharynx, esophagus, stomach, and then you have small intestine, large intestine, and finally the excretory system. Now, the mouth is the basic organ through which it starts. Then there is pharynx. Now, under the pharynx the pharynx itself can be divided into three components or three types of pharynx. The first one is the nasopharynx, oropharynx, and laryngopharynx. The next is the esophagus, around 25 centimeters in length. Then is the stomach, which has nearly 4 parts, and then small intestine and large intestine we would understand. To begin with, the mouth. In the mouth, we have the upper top part, which is the hard palate. It is called as the interior part, right? Behind that is the soft tissue. We call it as soft palate, and it is the posterior part of the palate. And then the hanging part is what is known as ulva. That is a small flap that hangs the upper lip and the lower lip. And then the teeth structure. The frontmost are the incisors, which are cutting. Then you have canines, which are tearing ones, premolars and molars for grinding. On the two sides there is the tonsil, the center tongue, which has the 4 taste areas that we have covered separately, and then this tongue is attached to lingual frenulum, which is a fold which attaches it to the floor or the cavity, and at the floor there is an opening which is for the salivary gland, which is the submandibular gland. So 3 types of salivary glands, and all the important glands of digestive system we would cover separately in the next lecture. Then, as we said, we move from mouth to pharynx to esophagus and finally the stomach. So here is where the esophagus connects to the stomach. The area which is filled with most of the air or gas is what is known as fundus. Cardiac is the area which is present near the heart, and then there are the muscles. These are in the fundus region. There are the longitudinal muscle. Below it, where there is less curvature, is the circular muscle. Then is the main part or the body of the stomach. Then is the posterior part, which is known as pylorus, and finally there is a sphincter which allows it to enter to duodenum, and this is known as Pyloric Sphincter. So this sphincter connects the stomach to the duodenum, and the partially digested food which has been digested through the gastric glands in the stomach moves into the duodenum. Now, talking about the next, small intestine. Small intestine has 3 components: ileum, jejunum, and duodenum. So, ileum is of the roll or coil shape, and this roll or coil shape has Peyer's patch. That's an important MCQ question. Peyer's patch is present at ileum, right? The next part is jejunum. Jejunum is relatively 2.5 meters long and has a diameter of around 4 centimeters. Next to jejunum is duodenum. Duodenum is the part that connects to the stomach through the Pyloric Sphincter, and this duodenum is C-shaped, right? This C-shaped structure is a short and a wide structure. This structure has another important gland which is known as burner glands, and burner glands empties into the crypts of Libercun, right? So this burner gland empties into crypt of Libercun. Now, what are the important questions? Fundus is a part of stomach. What is Pyloric Sphincter? Which 2 areas it connects? Peyer's patch are present in ileum. Brunner's gland related to duodenum, and burner gland empties into crypt of Libercun. Now, these were the parts of the small intestine. Coming on to the large intestine. The first important segment is the colon, which has around 3 different bands. These are known as the Tenai coli band, right? And there is a pouch of Hostra, as it is called as. Next to it is the chiasm. Chiasm is around 6 centimeters long. Then is the rectum, which is around 20 centimeter. Then is the anus, which is controlled by the sphincter, and another vestigial part which is known as appendix. Now this appendix is the outgrowth of what? This appendix is nothing but the outgrowth of cecum itself. So those are some of the important segments of large intestine. The colon is ascending, descending and transverse. So those are some of the important topics that we have covered in the section of human digestive system. In a quick summary, in the next section we would understand human digestive system, the important glands that you must know.